Hey guys, what's up? So welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be building a beginner's React application. So this is not something very huge or very complex. So if you have intermediate or maybe advanced experience in React, then this tutorial is not for you. Okay, so let's go over the application. So I found this application online. It's called Readometer. So what you have to do is basically type something or maybe copy something from somewhere, an article or a blog post, and you can calculate its reading time. So right now it says it will take 4 seconds to read it, and it also tells me the number of words that it had. Okay, and it also assumes that on an average a person reads with the speed of 200 words per minute. So we are also going to be using this value. Okay, so the point is we are going to convert this whole application into a React application. This will be a sweet little project for beginners, and yeah. So we'll also be covering hooks and functional component in the tutorial. So if you are not so familiar with those, so you can stick around and let's build it together. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to be using Code Sandbox, and it's okay if you want to use your local code IDE, VS Code maybe. It will be fine. Okay, so let's start. So first of all, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my source folder and create a uh, directory named components, where all of my components will lie. Inside, I will have one more directory named input, and so this will be my input component. By input component, I mean this particular text area where the user can type. So let's go over it. First, I'll import React. Then I'll make a functional component, if I can type it correctly. And for now, I'll just return a div that says input, just so we can see something on the screen. So I'll do export default. Okay, so this component is ready, and we need one more component that will be stats. So this right here is my stats component, where all of the stats will be rendered, how much time it's gonna take and how much word it contains. Okay, so yeah, I'll make a file same as I did in my input component, index.js. I'll copy the code from here and paste it here. I'll just rename this to stats. So we have a stats component. Now I'll go into my components folder. I'll make index.js so I can export my components. And then import stats from stats. Now I'll just export it. Okay, so I think we're good to go from this side. Now the final thing that we have to do is go into our app.js, get rid of this text, and let's also import our components. So I'll give the path first so we can get some intelligence. So we have input and we have stats. I'm gonna render both of these. And if everything is correct, we should see it here. So we have input component, we have stats component. So our basic structure is setup. Now we all we need to do is just write the logic and fill these components with the actual data and actual input box. Before that, let's go to our style CSS and style this page a bit. So for this tutorial, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to UI gradients, and uh, this one looks nice. I'll just copy this one. Okay, so I'll paste this one. I have this here, and before everything else, let's get rid of this default padding and margin. So I'll do padding 0 and margin also 0, and I'll also do border box sizing, um, box sizing, border box. And while we're here, let's also give our app some padding. So I'll do REM, and let's also give it height. So I think it looks nice right now. So our basic styling is done. Now let's go to our input component and actually render a text area right here. So I'll just use text area. Okay, and I will give it rows. So rows can be 5, and I'll give it columns. So I can do 60 or maybe 70 or 80. Let's also increase the rows. Let's do 10. Yep, this looks fine. So that is done. Now let's do one thing. Let's apply a class name here so we can actually style something. Now let's go to our input folder besides this index.js, and let's create our CSS file. You can name it anything, but I like to name it exactly the same as my component. So I'm gonna go with it. So we have input. Inside that we have a text area. Now the first thing that I'm gonna do is get rid of this border, and let me save it. Oh, I have to import this CSS file. So input.css. Now the border is gone. Okay, so we got rid of the border. Now let's make it pretty by adding some radius. I'll go with 4 pixels, and that looks okay. So, and the font size is also very small, so let's do font size of 18 pixels. Okay, this looks okay, and let's also give it a padding of 8 pixels. This is fine. Okay. And right now this is flowing out of the screen, so what I'll do is I'll just reduce the columns from here. So I'll do 60. It stays inside the screen for now, because styling isn't our main goal. Our main goal is to learn React and hooks. Okay, so this is done. So right now this particular input or maybe text area is uncontrolled. React doesn't have control over it. So our first goal whenever we are working with input elements in React is to make them controlled. So what I'm going to do is, so to make it controlled, what we have to do is we just have to let React control its state. So we need to pass some values, and we need to pass some on change handlers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my app.js, I'm gonna make a state right here. So we have used use state hook. So just a brief overview of the of this hook is you pass the initial value right here that gets stored into this value, and if at any time you want to change this particular value, you use this function. So by default, like, it returns an array, and right now we are destructuring the array. So the first value will point to its value, actual value, and second value is a function that you can use to update this value, and this is a initial value or default value. Okay, right now it's giving me error, so let me import React here. So now it won't complain and everything is cool. Now let's do one thing. Let's also pass this these two values, these two integer input. So I'm not gonna change the name, so I'll keep it same. So we'll just do it like this. Now when we go to input component, we can access these values from props. So if I go to input, I will get those values here. One is value, other is set value. Now to make it controlled, we have to do this, and we have to pass on change handler. So we'll get an event. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call set value, and I'll pass e dot target dot value. Right now this is controlled by, yeah. If I start typing, it will behave same. There will be no difference. That means everything is working perfectly fine. So the actual flow will be, whenever user starts typing, this function will get called, and it will call set value. It will pass its value, whatever the user has typed. It will go from here to app.js. Then this value will be changed. This value is again passed into input. Now this value will be set here. Earlier, this complete flow was inside this text area, and we were not controlling it, but right now React is controlling it. Okay, and let me show you something interesting. So if you see, we have inside our app, we have default value of this blank string. So that is why nothing is rendered initially. But let's say if I write hey code school, so initially when the component renders, this will be pre-filled. So this is the default value, and I'll revert it. So this is fine. Now we have to work on the stats component. So let's start by designing the component first. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make some tiles maybe. So we're gonna have some tiles that will show reading time and the number of words. So let's close this. Let's go to our stats component. And I'll make one more component. So I'm gonna name it stat. Okay, and that returns a div. And for now I'll write stat. And inside my stats component, I'll render these divs 2 times. So one is for our reading time and one is for the number of words. Now I'll also pass some props that we have to display. So first one will be value. So for right now, let's pass some static values, and next one will be text. So It's reading time, and this will be words 0. You go to my stat component, and I fetch those values, not fetch yet maybe. Okay, so this is done. I'll just render them here. So I'll use h3 tag for my value, and p tag for my text. We have it here, so it's working. 0 reading time and 0 words. Now let's maybe start styling it a bit. So I'll give it a class name of stats, and I'll give this a class name of stats. Let's also import our file. We haven't made the file, but we're just gonna make it. So I'll just import it first. So this will be stats.css. It's complaining that we don't have the file, but just a second, and now we have the file. And now it shouldn't complain. Yeah, it's not. So we have it. We have our class names. Let's go to our stats file and start styling it. The first thing that I'm gonna do is give it a margin of 1.5 rem, and second I'm gonna do is display x, and third is justify content center. And now let's go for individual stat components. One thing that I need is color to be white, and one more style will be to get some spacing between these two. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna target every stat component. I'm just gonna leave the last child, and I'm gonna give it margin right of rem. This looks fine. Let's increase it. Now it's fine. And while we are here, let's also style these h1 and h2. Sorry, h3 and p tag. So I think h3 looks fine. I'm just gonna style my p tag. So for p tag, I'll do better spacing. Okay, and I'll also maybe give it some margin. So margin top of now this looks okay. Let's also make our shape really big so it stands out. So I'm gonna give it, let's try font size. Okay, I can work with this, it's fine. So everything is done, I guess. Now we just have to write the logic for displaying the actual values here. So let's go to our app component. I'll make two more states. So one state will be for my word count, I'm gonna name it word count, and this one I'll use, oh sorry, will be set word count. Initially will be 0, and I'm gonna do same for time. So set time, and this will be also time. I'm just gonna pass these values to my stats component so we can start displaying them. Now when I'm gonna pass it, I'm just gonna call it count, just to show you that we can name it anything. uh, the point is, whatever name we're using here, we have to use the same name inside the props. So I'm going to call it count, and I'll call this time. So this should work. Now let's go to a stats component, and from the props, let's get the values or whatever. Let me just type for now. Okay, so this right here, and this thing is known as object destructuring. So you get prop something like this. So it's a parameter that is passed to this functional component, and if you want to render something, you can do uh, props dot time, and you can do props dot count. But this looks a bit ugly because you have to do it every time, like props dot time, props dot count, and maybe there are 6 7 props you're getting from the parent component, so you'll have to do this every time. So to avoid this, we can do this, and work the same, but it looks a bit cleaner right now. So the values are still 0 because the default values was 0. Just to show you guys that it works, I'm just gonna update this word count and make it 30. So now it shows there are 30 words. Let's get it to 0. Now logic for updating the values as the user starts typing will be written using use effect hook. So let's write it, use effect. So let me just give you a brief overview of the use effect hook. So use effect hook takes two parameters. The first one is a function that is right here, and second one is a dependency array. So let's say if you don't pass the second parameter, the dependency array, and you just pass the function, the first parameter, then this means that this hook, that this function will run every single time any of the state changes, or when the component renders for the first time. It will run every single time. So even if the value changes, even if word count changes or time changes, or when the component renders for the first time, it will run every single time. But if you pass the second parameter and you pass empty array, this means that it will run only one time when the component initially renders. So this structure is good for making your API calls. So let's say you want to render some data, and you want to fetch the data from an API. So you're going to use this particular hook, and you'll pass an empty array right here. So that this particular function will be called when the component renders for the first time, and then you can maybe update your state. It won't be called again. But if you pass some values inside it, so let's say if I pass a value, and so this means that this will run two times. First, when my component initially renders. Second, whenever this value changes. So, and when will this value change? Whenever the user is typing, this value will get updated. This particular function will run every single time. So let me give you a short demo for this. So I'll do console log, and I'll just type okay. typing. Now if I open my console, so if you see we have it here. I'll just clear it. Okay, and now I'll start typing. So whenever I'm typing, so right now there are 13 characters inside here. So we have uh, 13 lines typing printed into the console. So okay, so that's about React use effect. Now we have to write our actual logic. So what we want to do is whenever user types, whenever this value changes, we want to update word count and time. And these are already being passed into a stats component, so this will automatically change. So let's write the logic. So let's write the logic for the word count first. So for the word count, it's gonna be simple, not very complex. So what I'm gonna do is I'll get my value as a string. So firstly, I'm gonna split it based on the spaces, and then I'm gonna return its length. So I'll do set word count to count. So right now it states says one words, and that is because uh, initially the string is empty and it tries to split it. So the length of the array is 1 right now. So what we can do is we can wrap this with an if block, so it should not run when the value is empty. Okay, let's rebuild this. Now it says 0 words. So let's say if I start typing, it says 1 words. Now this is 2 words, 3 words, 4 words. Now if you notice one thing, right now it contains 4 words, but it shows 5 words. That is because I've introduced a space in the end of my sentence. So when the array, so when we split it, it will form an array. The first 4 elements will contain actual values, and the last value will be empty. Will be an empty string. So to avoid this case, what we can do is we can just trim our value before splitting it. So what trim will do is trim will get rid of any preceding or it will get rid of any spaces in the end. So right now if I type words, and even if I enter space, no matter how many times, it will still show me 4 words. So that is done. And right now it still shows me 4 words. That is because um, when the user is typing, okay, it shows 2 words, and when I clear my this last character, my value becomes empty. This particular block, this particular condition blocks this code from running. So this value never gets updated for the 0th value. So what we can do is we can simply uh, put an else block that will reset the counters. So we'll do set word count, and we'll also do set time equal to 0. So now it should work fine. So now it shows 2 words. I go back and it shows 0 words. So the logic for our word is done. Now we have to implement the logic for reading time. So reading time is gonna be simple. So I'm just gonna call it reading time. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna simply divide count by 200. This value we got from here. Okay, so we have it like this, and we'll set the time to be reading time. So let's copy the text from here, and so right now it shows this. Now this is showing in minutes. So what we can do is, like, we're not gonna go this far to display everything in minutes and seconds. We can do it. Maybe you can do it, but just for the sake of this tutorial, we're not gonna do it. So I'll do is I'll just round this value. Math dot round. So right now it's rounded, and if the value is not exact, what we can do is I'll just add a delay right here, so the users know that I mean it's approx, it's not exact. So let's test both the applications right now. So I'll go to lorem ipsum, and let's copy a big text. So I'll generate 5 words, okay, 5 paragraphs actually. I'll copy this complete thing, I'll paste it here, and let's see the results. So it contains 518 words, and it will take around 2 minutes and 35 seconds to read it. Let's paste this exact text into our this, and it also shows the exact values, same values I mean. So 518 words, and it will take around 3 minutes to read this. So I think that was it for this tutorial. Before going, let's also add a heading to our app the app. So why not? So I'll call it better Lido, and let's also go to our app.js, and let's also style it. So inside app we have h1. I'm gonna give it a margin bottom of 2 rem, and I'm gonna do color white. This looks better. Let's open this in a new tab, and this is our application and it's ready. Okay, so I think that was it for this tutorial. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you need tutorials on any topics regarding web development or programming in general, let me know in the comment section. I'll be happy to help you guys, and I'll also attach the link for this particular project into description, so you guys can fork it and play around with it. Yep, that's it. Bye, take care.